Hey folks, Deano here again, and welcome to my bootleg effects extravaganza. Yeah, basically I was scouring AliExpress and I noticed two items that made me quite excited. That being the smoke effects and these sort of wavy effects. The keen-eyed among you will notice that these are indeed the Tamashii smoke effects that they just recently released. I think it was the start of this year. And the swoosh effects that came with the first Goku accessory set that they did, or was it the second? One of them was him eating in the sort of ramen place, whatever that was, and the other one was all the wavy effects. But yeah, this one excited me the most because I've been looking for that accessory set for pretty much ever and couldn't find it at a decent price. So yeah, plus that is in a nicer colour in my opinion, in the blue. The original came in the same sort of colour as the smoke, the sort of frosted clear look, whereas this one is obviously clear blue, and they are also doing clear orange in the same sort of colour as these explosion effects over here. But yeah, that is not all. I also decided to make this into a full video, obviously. I also bought this, which is one of the first effects Tamashii ever actually made. This is a bootleg version of it, complete with dog hair. Yeah, this is an impact effect. I got the standard one to show you guys. They do a million different colours at this point, including like a lava coloured one, which I thought would be brilliant for Broly, but it was out of stock at the time. So yeah, I couldn't get it, unfortunately. But yeah, really nice. And yeah, also the explosion effects. There are more effects as well that you can get. There's sort of flame effects that you can put round a figure. I do have one from way back in the day, but it is currently in my display and I can't be bothered getting it out. Plus it's missing some of the parts, so it wouldn't be much use anyway. But yeah, you can get that. There are sort of wave effects as well. There's even a spiral sort of almost aura-like effect. That one is a bit expensive though, which is why I didn't buy it. But yeah, all of these are in the £10 mark, like the £10 range. I think the most expensive was the smoke effect. That one was 14. But still, that is a lot cheaper than the official ones. The official ones start at about 35. And in terms of these effects in the Goku one, that's hovering in the 50s. And there's no chance in hell I'm buying that. So yeah. But yeah, I also put in these as well. I figured I might as well show them off because I have showed them in various videos before, but they were in a different sort of video. Whereas this one, I can show them off specifically. All of these will be in the description below. Links to them all to purchase from AliExpress. I highly recommend them. But yeah, let's begin, shall we? So yeah, obviously can't display them on their own, can we? So I have Daima Goku and Daima Vegeta here to showcase these effects for you. So we'll start off with the smoke effect. We'll show each part individually. So we'll start off with this one. And yeah, it's quite decent. It's also very hefty. Like, this is solid plastic. The company that cloned these, I think it was AC Factory. I believe. I know for a fact they're the ones doing the swoosh effects. Not 100% on the smoke effects, to be honest. But yeah, AC Factory, they're the ones that were doing the bootleg Revoltech Ultron and a few other figures. I believe Burst he's at least got a couple of them. I don't know if he's put the reviews up yet. But yeah, Smoke effects look really nice. At its core, it is a clear plastic with a sort of airbrush of white over the top. So yeah, the clear plastic gives it a sheen, and the frosted effect from the spray really sells the effect. They're also doing a sort of silvery colour, which I suppose would be good for like fire smoke, things like that. Yeah, looks really nice. Only thing I dislike a bit is there is a clear seam along the top, but I would assume that's the exact same as the official one. So yeah, I can't really take points off for that. There are little chips here and there from where the paint has come off in shipping, and it's not the cleanest when you look closely at the sort of spray, but yeah, it still does the job. I have very little issues with this. These two are a bit odd. This one seems to have caught the majority of the spray, whereas this one seems to have caught very little. So yeah, but then smoke is not uniform. It will all look different, so I am completely fine with this. They all have flat bottoms to them, so they sit really nicely when you put them down. And yeah, just makes for some really cool display options in your display. So yeah, let's take a look at the rest. So next up we have the impact effect, which in my opinion looks really nice. It can just be used as a base, like I'm doing here. Very convincing looking hero land there from Vegeta, if I do say so myself. But yeah, the base itself is very nice. There is some really nice sort of, I don't know if that's dry brushing that they've done there. But yeah, it's gotten into all the cracks of the mould very nicely. One thing I will say about this particular copy, I'm not sure if the one you receive will be the same, but on the official, there are a few of these pieces that actually come off to like give you even more display options. So for example, this piece here, this piece here, and I believe, is it that piece right there? Yeah, those all come off in separate pieces, whereas this one has clearly, he says as it's all falling apart, just been moulded as one solid piece, which is a little bit of a shame. They've skimped a little bit there, but it's still decent. You wouldn't even realise they were supposed to come off if you weren't already aware of it. So yeah, as you've seen, this middle piece comes out. You can separate that both for like a smaller effect, and also if you wish to, for example, stick a base through it and just have it sitting like that. That also works quite well. You can have someone flying in, punching someone through it, and you'll also notice on the back there are many holes on it. I'm not entirely sure what these bigger peg holes are for, but I know for a fact these smaller ones are for the stands. So yeah, you can also split them apart into separate pieces. So yeah, if you wanted some diorama with a stand holding all the pieces up against the wall, all separated, you can do that quite easily. Just bear in mind you will need a lot of stand arms to hold them up. Yeah, all in all, really nice effect. They have sort of done an updated version of this. This is the rock impact effect. Bootleggers have not yet done the shock effect, which I really want. That actually makes it look as if they're taking off as opposed to being planted firmly on the ground. But yeah, as soon as that comes out, I'll definitely be getting it. So yeah, really nice effect. Let's move on to the next one. So here we have Goku being basically peppered by ki blasts and they're exploding in his face. Yeah, this is the explosion effect. Again, like the impact effect, this is quite an old effect. So I am quite happy that the bootleg companies are still making them. And they do make them in a variety of colours as well. Same as the impact effect. They do them in this colour, just a standard sort of dark grey, as if it's a smoke explosion, as opposed to like an actual explosion. And yeah, quite a few different ones, which is quite nice. I would recommend this one in particular, the orange with the sort of paint in the back. It really gives a bit of depth to the explosion. There's a standard yellow one as well, but I wasn't as keen on that one, to be completely honest with you. Same deal as the explosion effect. These do come with holes on the bottom for stands, so that you can prop them up in the air. Not sure why you would, to be honest, although you can actually put these together mostly. This one right here, is it that one? There's a specific way they go together. Right, there. That one right there just slots together like so. And this one goes in this way then. They do fit together. It's just a bit awkward trying to work it all out, to be honest. I believe those two are actually meant to go together. I know they're meant to go together in some way, but I am clearly struggling because I am an idiot. But yeah, know that they do go together, and when you do work it out, one of them sits on top as well. I think I've actually figured it out there, like that. So the three of them all slot together. Obviously you would need a stand for the one at the back to make a larger explosion. And yeah, looks really nice. I like it. And again, it's a hard plastic, but it's not brittle per se. So there's no real risk of them breaking. Plus, you're only really using them for effects anyway. So yeah, another nice effect there. And oh, obviously, you could pop some lights behind them, and they glow really nicely. Yeah, that would be something for some LED lights. They would do well. Let's move on to the next. So this last one will be a twofer. So first off, I'll quickly show you these stands because we will be using them in this last segment. And we will also bring this back in because I do wish to unbox it for you guys. So yeah, two different types of stand. I love both of these. If you want stability, you go with this one. Bear with me 2 seconds. Let's bring the camera down a little so that we can see them properly. So yeah, if you want stability, you would obviously go with the large base here. If you want to conserve shelf space, you would go with this one. Honestly, this one I have found, as long as you don't go too crazy with the posies, it still manages to hold up just fine, even though it feels a bit weird and wonky. But yeah, both of these I found on AliExpress. This one is kind of unique in my opinion. They have held up really well so far, but they do not use the standard sort of system with the screw into a nut, or a bolt into a nut, if you should call it that. No, we just have a screw that goes into the other side to hold it together. And yeah, as long as you don't over tighten them, they still hold on perfectly fine in my opinion. They do have a larger sort of peg hole at the bottom than usual, which makes it a bit more stable. And the main selling point of this that I really like is the fact that the arms are held together with screws, which makes them far more stable than your standard kind, in which they just pop in to the clear plastic. It doesn't matter how good the quality is on the clear plastic, eventually those will snap because you're moving them back and forth constantly. So yeah, definitely recommend these stands, 100% guys. And they're dirt cheap. They're like a quid each, if that. You can even get some deals on AliExpress getting multi-packs and things like that. I've ordered tons of them over the years. So yeah, really like those. Now let's bring the camera, in fact we'll leave it back down a bit for a while. So yeah, this is the whoosh effect, which that's what I'm calling it anyway. I have already, disclaimer, I have already popped this apart before. This is just to show you what they all look like. I did unfortunately have to drill out the holes ever so slightly. I think I used a 4mm drill bit, which is pretty much what these pegs are size wise. So yeah, all I did was widen it slightly. The pegs still fit in, and there is no longer a risk of them snapping off, because when I first tried these, they were tight, and I mean really tight, overly tight, honestly. One thing I'm a bit disappointed about with this set is that while I can understand it not coming with the Goku head, why did it not come with the Ki Blast effects that the official one does? That wouldn't have affected it in any way. Like, I don't get why we didn't go with them, honestly. Maybe it was the clear plastic that you had to put on the wrists was maybe too fragile or something, I don't know. But yeah, bit disappointing at that. But other than that, it is a very nice set. 2 seconds and I will open this before headphone users want to kill me. There we go. So yeah, we have 2 sets of everything in this set. So we have 2 of these sort of straight effects here. One obviously it goes on each side of the leg or arm. I would say this is more for like a front kick. We'll bring in Goku just to show what I mean. So if we have them like that, for example, it makes it look as if he is kneeing up the way. So yeah, like that one. And we have this one here, which would be more for the fists. It says as he rips Goku's arm clean off. Come on, there we go. So yeah, if we have Goku there, we can have him sort of punching, and again gives the effect of being in motion. We have this one, which would be more for, say for example, an uppercut. I'm very glad I used the Daima bodies for this because they show motion really well, how they're created. So if we had it like that, it would give the impression that he's uppercutting. Really, really nice. And finally, we have this behemoth right here, which does not want to come out of the package. There we go. So yeah, we have this big boy here, which we could use for example doing a sideways kick. So if we pop it right there like so, gives the effect of him swinging his leg around, which is really, really nice. I like it. I do have to say they're kind of brittle feeling plastic, so be careful with them. But they are not something to be played with really anyway. So yeah, just be careful with them and they'll be absolutely fine. We have one of each of these peg adapters These small ones are near enough impossible to get out. There we go. So we have 4 of these double pegged versions, which go from large to small for various arm and legs sizes. And we also have the same, but with just the 1 peg on them, which is quite a lot of use, I'll be honest. So for example, if we take this kicking one, which one would fit best? See, the trick is to figure out which one would not be loose on the leg. So that one's a bit too big. That one's a bit too small. This is not going too well, is it? A bit of an awkward shape overall, which is a bit annoying. To be honest, these were originally created with the 2.0 Goku in mind, not the 1.0 or the 3.0. I suppose we could sort of wing it and attach it in between the foot. Can we do that? Will it actually fit in? Or is it too much? It is maybe too much. This is annoying. Let's see how this works. Come on. There we go. That popped in. Nice. That worked. Right, so what you then do is slot. We need to think about the direction we're wanting to go. We then figure out which side is for which. So that's definitely for this side. Just gently slot it in like so. And we do the same on this side. There we go. That is an example of the double. The effect is quite good, especially because this is a clear plastic. The frosted white plastic was, yeah, it didn't really sell the effect for me all that well, but I like this clear plastic effect. It really sort of sells it for me. So yeah, that's nice. Let's gently pop them back off. There we go. You don't want to twist them, whatever you do. Rock them back and forth to get them off. You twist them, you are just asking for the pegs to shear off. Like, it's literally as simple as that. Let's see. Don't worry, I will bring Vegeta in a second. That one fits nicely, actually. In fact, let's pop that off and get the single piece out, just to show that off. Come on. Because, of course, some of them don't need a sort of 3D effect. You just need to see it in the background. Yeah, I'm actually surprised at how well that fits on Goku's wrist there. So, is this the correct way? Yes, it is. Again, just gently pop it in. Doesn't even have to go in all the way, just as long as it's in there. And then put it into position. And make sure you've actually done it properly before you show it on camera. Come on, pop back off. There we go, nice. There, so that is better. And just like that, looks as if he is swinging. Nice, like it. Let's pop this one back off. And we'll bring in Vegeta for the other two. So with Vegeta, he is going that way, so we will do a nice dynamic pose right here. Let's see. Now that looks a bit awkward. Trial and error when you're trying to get these. Usually when I do my poses, I use the computer to show me some like natural poses before I try it myself. Let's pop this off right here. Pop that on. That fits snugly as well. That's nice to see. There we go. Doesn't look the best for whatever reason, but I'll deal with it. This video is getting on in time, unfortunately. So slot that on like so. Will this even fit properly? Just about. There we go. So yeah, you have him doing that. It gives the 3D effect of him punching. And obviously you could just have one of these at any point to have it looking quite nice. Just like that, for example. There we go. It is all about the angles when it comes to showing motion on these figures. Come on, get back out of there. There we go. Nice. So yeah, I'd assume the really big rings, like these ones, are more for bigger characters, like Broly, for example. But still nice that we have all these effects like so. I love how easily the Daima characters get into these dynamic poses. Like, these bodies are just so good. I haven't actually tried. Does Vegeta's peg? There we go. Yeah, that came out nice. That came out quite easily. That is far too big a peg. So is that. What about this one? This looks as if it'll be a winner. That'll slot nicely in between. There we go, nice. And then all we have to do is I'll need to get the other one, because like I said before, these effects are actually keyed to specific sides, just in case you want to give it a 3D effect sort of thing. There we go. And all we have to do is slot that in like so. And it gives the effect that he is doing a roundhouse kick. So yeah, quite nice. I really like these. Like, really like them. That's better. So yeah, obviously they won't fit perfectly around the character's wrists and stuff in most cases, so you do have to angle them properly. But yeah, really nice. I highly recommend these. Like, if you can't tell with my excitement at using half of the video to showcase these effects particular, yeah, you will realise I am very happy to have these. And it's really, really good that they come in different colours. I like the blue. They still have the standard sort of frosted white effect on them. And you also get a yellow effect. So yeah, guys, I am not going to bother cleaning any of this up because it's an absolute mess and it's quite late at night. So I will leave you with this. Links will be in the description if you wish to purchase any of the effects you've seen today. If you're wondering why I haven't showed any aura effects, that's because 1, the Tamashii style ones are pretty terrible, even the official ones, and 2, I actually have a collaboration coming with a custom maker of acrylic effects. So yeah, look forward to that. Hopefully those come before the end of August, because they are coming from the States. So yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Are these worth picking up to you? Let me know. And until next time, I'll see you all later.